Hi.
What are we up to today?
So we didn't get that far with the vegetation clearance in the kiln the other day. So we're come back and we're going to have another go at it. It's going to be slow, painstaking work because we want to make sure that as we go, we're not disturbing too much. It's always a trade-off from an biodiversity and ecological kind of point of view. That's we don't like to disturb things, but we also need to be able to get in there. So to balance off, the plan is we remove things carefully and rather than just shredding or burning it or thing like that, we just kind of put it to the side somewhere where if there's anything still living on the leaves or in the vegetation, that they might actually be able to continue living and feeding on it for a while, or eventually uh, make their way off to another patch.
So while I'm doing that, what are you going to do?
Well, there's a couple of rather large trees. I'll say large; they're actually quite young, um, I suppose. Large for this area, anyway. But they are kind of right in the middle of everything. Uh, Now, there's a bit of a precarious point there, so I'll try and leave that for the professionals. But there's two others which I might be able to tackle. And I have from before this extendable lopper, which does have a saw attachment as well. So I'm going to try and get up here and slowly, carefully take away the top and make our way down and see how that goes. That might just make it a bit easier to see a few more things and uh, yeah, get some of the way anyway.
Wonderful. Let's crack on.
Let's crack on.
Well, well, well. It doesn't seem to look much different than it did before.
I'd say it looks a bit.
Chris says it looks a bit. Um, it does to us, but I think it might not come across in the video. It's always difficult to capture the difference in something like this. I don't even know how to. What do you think?
Well, I think we've made some progress. There's definitely, you can start to see a bit of a wall here, which you're not seeing on the camera from there, but um, that bit of wall there is kind of showing, which wasn't visible before. You can start to see a little bit of the slope here. When you're cutting on the
You can
other
start to
side, you
see
can
just how
see,
loose all these stones are.
yeah. But when you were cutting on the other side over there as well, you saw like possible some tiles and various bits and
Yeah.
bobs. So it's coming across. You may not notice, but the tree is now properly, well, down up to the level. It's still quite useful as a leaning post, you see.
And to hold on to when you're stepping on uncertain ground.
So we'll keep that for a little bit longer.
You're keeping it as a prop.
A little feature maybe in the middle of the room, just why not?
Sure.
um, but yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we're
we're gonna have to call it a day.
calling it a
A
day.
lot of office work still to do, and yeah, it's gonna just chip away at it.
Look more excited.